Welcome to Aired Out, brought to you by Capitol Showplace Montpelier and Paramount Theater Barre. At FGBtheaters.com, CW Print and Design in Barre, at CWPrintDesign.com, Peak Entertainment, PeakDJ.com, Cruise Planners, your land and cruise experts. In Vermont, CruisePlanners.com, Donnybrook Fight Promotions of Williamstown, CBDCrave.com. Presented by CVTV, Public Access Channel 192 and 194, CVTV723.org, Fontaine Forestry and Millworks, Route 14 East Montpelier. Custom orders, rough, kiln dry, plain, tongue and groove, or shiplap. FontaineMillworks.com and Fly on the Wall Productions. Now, let's get aired out.
All right, well, here we are live on a Tuesday afternoon in Barre. I'm J.D. Green at the Central Vermont Television Studios. You got yourself aired out on YouTube and on CVTV723.org and channel 192 and 194. It is a great pleasure to have you tuning in today. I have beside me two incredibly kick-ass drivers right here in our own backyard, who I am so proud and honored to bring on here in just a second. I want to say, first off, we have a new presenting sponsor, Gauthier's Quality Grounds and Maintenance in Orange. Jason Gauthier, an amazing guy, and I am so excited and honored to have him on board as a presenting sponsor for Aired Out. Of course, along right beside Fontaine Forestry and Millworks on Route 14, just below Bragg Farm, Mark Fontaine and Sharon and the rest of the family. I'm going to be broadcasting live up there, as a matter of fact, in the coming weeks. I look forward to it. So the biggest stock car racing event of the year is Thursday, 40 years strong, the VP Racing Fuels Vermont Governor's Cup 150. I have Cooper Bouchard with me in the studio this time around, and Kelsea Woodard, who is 18. You just turned 18 years old.
Just turned 18.
And Cooper, you're 21. Thank you guys so much for being here today and having some fun with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So I got to say, first off, and I know you wanted me to start with Cooper, but I'm going to start with you. I got to say.
All right.
So, you know, when I had first heard about you, I was like, wait a minute, we got another female driver out there. And it made me think of Emily Packard. So you're 18 years old, and you've been driving a Tiger for how long now?
This will be my second year. Last year was my rookie year. I've been driving for a total of 5 years, though. 1 year outside of Thunder Road, but the last 4 at Thunder Road.
Where was it outside of T Road?
I started at White Mountain Motorsports Park in North Woodstock, New Hampshire, in the kids' truck division. I raced a Ford Ranger.
Come on, really?
Yeah, and then I ended up crashing that, totaled the car. So then I went to Speedway 51 in Groveton, New Hampshire, with a Ford Mustang. Finished out the year there. Had a lot of success. Got a lot of trophies.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's so cool. So, and your dad, Jason.
Yeah, he's a really big role model. He's a 2-time Tiger champion. He won a championship in the Road Warriors when he first started. I look up to him. I want to be as good or better racer than he is.
So your dad's a Tiger now, and Cooper knows that because he looked ahead and saw your dad spin you out what was it, a couple weeks ago?
Actually, last week he
Oh my God.
he ran right into the back of me and spun me out. Luckily, I got my spot back.
All right, I want to know, if there was a recording inside of your helmet, what would it have said when that happened?
I would have said, "God damn it, Dad, you better hope that I get this spot back."
and you did?
Yes, I did.
So what happened to Dad?
He got to keep his spot too.
Yeah.
The caution had already come out.
Yeah.
And he just didn't see that the caution had come out, and he came in a little hot.
Wow. What happened? Did you just wake up one day and say, I want to do this, or was it because you were watching Dad and Dad
it's been in the family for my entire life. So I had been around it a lot, and I wanted to see if I could do it, and I ended up really loving it. It's kind of like a bad drug to get addicted to.
Yeah.
But
It's an expensive drug.
it's very expensive.
It's very expensive.
Yeah.
Take a second here and give a shout, give some love to your sponsors.
Okay. I would love to thank Blue Flame Gas, Tuberville, Casella Construction, Pro Driver Training, J&S Sales and Service of Waterbury Center, Billings Mobile, also of Waterbury, the Zen Barn, also of Waterbury Center, The Alchemist, Steve's Speed Shop, Village Grocery. But special thanks to Blue Flame. They're my primary sponsor, and I definitely couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, and we were just talking about that a minute ago here before the cameras went hot. That Cooper, you just at 21 years old. First of all, what job did you have to leave today to come here?
So I'm a parts guy at Wood CRW, and we are basically the Volvo earth moving equipment dealer of the state. We deal with that kind of machinery and a little bit of link belt cranes. So big, steel erecting machines,
Wow.
bridge building machines, stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Woods, for letting this guy escape for a couple of hours to run back to Barre to come on the show. Your sponsors, who the heck are they?
Woods does sponsor me.
Thank you, Woods.
Yeah, thank you. I got Frost Beer Works on the hood. This is the third year they've been on my car. Garen, has been really, really supportive of me, not only with the race cars, but when I raced motorcycles with his son before. So I've got Amy at KAS Consulting, Giro Body Shop, who basically gets us any steel or anything that we need for the car. They helped us basically hang an entire new body this year. Bronson Johnson Seamless Gutters, Dion Locksmith, and Classic Ventures.
And what did you just say to me before the cameras came on about your sponsors?
I can't stress enough how truly important it is to have, a good group of sponsors that not only support you financially but emotionally, and take the time out of their day not to just hand you a check, but really come and check on you and watch you at the track and follow you at the track. Because without people like them, you really could not do this. Even if you were a millionaire.
Totally impossible.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, and that was another thing that we were chatting about is, I remember, believe it or not, when I was 21, and man, I was just scraping. I mean, gas money, just a little bit of beer money, a little bit, not much, but gas, insurance, vehicle, trying to hold a job down, trying to have a social life, trying to buy things that you want, trying to get things that you need. That's and at 18 years old, I mean, you've got a lot of help from your family.
Yeah. I'm so fortunate to have so much support from my mom and dad and my sponsors as well. They're all of them have played such a big role in getting me to the track, being at the track before we even go to the track, all the work behind the scenes. Yeah.
So in order to have sponsors like this, you have to have a car that's in great shape, but you also have to have a driver that really knows what they're doing and is a decent driver. Because if you're a crappy driver and you're coming in last, every single time, that affects your sponsorship, which affects everything. So you must be pretty good.
Yeah, basically, you're the face of that sponsor. You're representing them. You need to be responsible, respectful, and
off the track too.
On and off the track, and present them in a responsible way.
Yeah, and you have to remember that when you're out on the track, you want to race hard. Yeah. But you don't want to race dirty because you've got these sponsor names all over the side of your car.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah. So your biggest accomplishment was a couple of years ago, I think in 2017. Was it Most Improved Driver?
Yep. In 2017, I was named Most Improved Driver. My first season at Thunder Road was not a good one at all. I was actually ready to quit and say I'm done. I finished 21st in points that season, but everyone back at the shop talked me into just trying it another year, and I came back and finished third that year. I was actually battling points with Cooper, so he beat me. He finished second.
Yeah.
But,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, she beats me now, so.
Yeah, I was just, I mean, that was my next question for you, Coop, is, what's the deal with her? And if she wasn't even here right now, what would you say about her? Is she a decent driver?
Oh, absolutely. She can basically put the car anywhere on the track and, drive around you. She's not afraid to, use the high side, unlike some people that, just like stick to the bottom. If need be, she will flat drive around you. And, it adds a little bit of, lights a fire under your behind because, not everyone can do that. So
yeah.
It's impressive to see, what not only she can do, but the whole family. I mean, everyone in the family can drive. So
it's in the blood.
Oh, absolutely.
That's so cool. And when you're in this car and you've got this helmet on, you probably don't really think of her as a girl or a young woman when you're all go.
I mean, it's like any sport. You're probably going to make friends throughout all of it, but when it comes to the time, when you strap your helmet on, you're competitors, and whatever happens after that, can happen. But
yeah.
like you were saying a little bit earlier, regardless of who you're racing with, you always want to be able to try and race with respect, because it only helps, your reputation and the people that help you out
sure.
on the car.
And that's such a difficult thing to do, I would imagine, because you have so much money, so much time, so much heart, so much hope and passion invested in this, that if something doesn't go right out on the track, even if it's her, someone that you're friends with, someone that you know, I would guess that it's got to be almost impossible to harness that passion and just control your emotions so that you don't fly off the handle.
Right.
And that's got to be something that you have inertly, I would guess, because, whew, man, I mean, you've seen things get hot. Have you ever got a little hot yourself? Come on now, this is Aired Out. The name of the show is Aired Out.
I can think of maybe one or two occasions, maybe one this year, where I felt like I wasn't getting the respect that I deserved, and I gave back that same type of respect, and it may or may not have worked out for me, but I don't care because I got my point across, and hopefully, it won't. What happened that led up to that, won't
sure.
reoccur because I made it clear, how I felt and that I wasn't going to take it.
But we see this in NASCAR all
Absolutely.
the time, all the time.
Yeah.
Every single race, and you have to stand your ground, and
Right. Especially in the Tigers division, you have to be aggressive. And if you're not, then you're going to get pushed around.
wow.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're all a racing family, so
Yeah.
no matter what happens on the track,
Yeah.
it can carry off the track, but it probably won't carry over to the next week.
Right.
That's
We're-
really cool.
We're all out there doing the same thing, enjoying. Everyone's enjoying the same thing, racing together. And like she said, it might stink in the moment, but in order to further your success, you'll probably have to push it behind you and focus on what races.
Or apologize even though you're not the one that is super,
Correct.
super intensely sorry.
Correct.
Even if you were really, truly the victim and everyone in the stands knows it, you might have to stoop down.
Right. Swallow your pride and move on.
And not even your own success, it's also the success of the track, the division.
Of course.
If everyone crashes and bangs up, not everyone's going to come back.
What's the good point.
Yeah.
What's the experience with this new wall? What do you think?
I
of
have
it?
had a good experience so far, knock on wood.
You are
I
literally
haven't-
knocking on wood from
Yes.
Fontaine Forestry and Millworks.
Thank you, Fontaine Forestry and Millworks. I haven't had any bad experiences yet, so hopefully it continues that way.
Does it scare you at all?
Nope, you gotta send it.
Yeah, I've chatted with a few people that still are not crazy about it, and other people love it, thrilled.
I mean, it depends. If I guess I'm kind of the same way. I haven't really had a good run-in with it yet. I'm sure when I do, I won't like it.
Yeah.
But for the time being, I think it, adds to the aesthetic of the track, and hope that eventually it'll make for some cleaner racing, because people are going to realize you can't race the way you want to, because you're going to end up destroying your car.
Sure. Where will both of you be when the Maplewood Irving Oil Late Models roll out onto the track on Thursday?
I will be standing in the concession area by the lookout part near the pits, but in the concession area, and I'll be watching Christopher Bell and the rest of the crew.
And who will you be next to? Your dad, I'm guessing.
I'll be next to my dad and probably some of my crew, Gup and Eddie, and maybe a few other competitors, depending on where everyone's at.
And what about you?
I mean, I'll more than likely be stuck next to my car and not being able to watch, because they like to yell at us a lot in the pits. But if I'm watching, I'll probably be in the pit grandstands with my mom and my dad and my uncle. They're my crew. They're the ones that are in the pits with me every week. So I mean, I could go out and see the rest of my family that supports me, but could get caught up with all the everything else going on.
It's easy to get caught up with. So if there's a problem with your car or something, you're really engrossed in that more than you are who's out on the track right now, who's doing what.
Right, absolutely.
Exactly.
Isn't that something? Wow. I was curious about that. If you're anxious to just get the helmet off and get into the stands and just watch the race, assuming that all things are okay with your crew and your car and everything. But if you have any concerns at all, you're staying close to your car.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Driver to beat, Milton's Scott Dragon, of course, last year's winner. Hoping for 2 in a row. King of the Road, won it in a couple of years ago, 2016.
Yeah.
16 and last year, I think.
Oof. So he just got his 3rd win in the last 5 races and sits at 3rd in the points. All eyes are
He's
gonna be on him.
awesome. Yeah. We actually share a common sponsor, Pro Driver Training. Richard Green actually owns the car. His girlfriend Liz is in charge of Pro Driver Training. She came to me and asked if she could sponsor me, actually, and I was like, heck yeah.
That's so cool.
So Pro Driver Training's a big truck driver training course, basically.
Yeah. And we need more drivers.
Yeah.
We need a lot more drivers. Speaking of drivers, we've had Stewart and Bush and Schrader and Clint Boyer all at the track over the last couple of years. Now we have Christopher Bell, who's going to be out trading paint a little bit, I would presume, on Thursday.
Yep.
What do you think about this guy? Are you going to get a chance to meet him privately? I would guess you would in the pits, maybe.
I don't
It's
know.
a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know which car he's driving yet, but I'm sure he'll be a little bit secluded in his side of the pit, and I know they're going to have an autograph session with him too.
Yeah, afterwards.
So
or before. I think it's 5:30 to 6:30.
Yeah.
6:30 post, autographs starting at 5:30.
But he'll be just like any other driver there at the night, so he'll sit with us in the driver's meeting just like Kyle Busch did, and he came last year and everything. So I think it'll be exciting. He's definitely Kyle Busch is incredible, but to have someone young and fresh and
Rising
upcoming
star.
At 24.
Right.
Yeah.
To come up to the track, and hopefully put on a good show for the fans is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I love the fact that they are able to bring in some of these big name drivers.
Yeah.
I know Curley and Squire have been doing that for a long time. A long time. Current point leader, Trampus Demers, South Burlington, won the 17 Governor's Cup. Been the most consistent late model driver at Thunder Road this season. He's another one to be watching on the track. And, of course, Jason Corliss, who's won a whole bunch, including the Milk Bowl, Cody Blake, Jimmy Hebert, Phil Scott. He's had a pretty good season.
Yeah.
We weren't really sure at the beginning whether or not he was going to be full bore or not, but he's in.
He had a little bit of a rough last race, but I mean, he's got a wicked crew behind him and an incredible, he's got a really, really fast car. Yeah. So as long as you put, anyone that can half drive behind the wheel of that car, they can probably, make something out of it.
You ever seen him get ticked off?
No. I
No?
don't. I don't.
I'm sure he probably does.
He
just
probably doesn't show it
keeps
publicly.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably got to damper it a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have Stephen Martin from Craftsbury, a rookie, continues to be a top car.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a huge point lead right now. It's like almost 40 points, I think.
Consistency is
Yeah,
key in
yeah.
the sport. I mean, Corliss won the first 3 races or 2 races,
Yeah.
and he's not even leading points. And Steven always manages to be, when the race is done, you go, oh, where'd he come from?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's consistently finishing up front and not really, he's not moving people to do it. He's got
Yeah.
a good car and he can drive.
Right, and he's not. I mean, luck is a lot of the sport too.
Yeah.
If you
Of
keep
course it
getting
is.
a lot of bad luck, you're kind of going to be falling back.
Yeah.
But I don't know that he's gotten any bad luck. I think it's all been pretty good.
And your
So hopefully-
your dad is right behind him in points,
Yeah.
right?
He's second.
Kind of a distant second,
Yes. Yeah.
but still second.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think I'm like 6 out of
I
second.
was going to
I'm
ask you where
third,
you
yeah.
are.
Yeah. This is the first week we haven't been tied, so.
So Tyler Austin, Michael McGaskill, you guys are, and you are all rounding out the top 5. Mike McGaskill. So what's he like?
He's a wild man.
Hey, Mike.
He's a wild man. You never know what to expect from Mike.
He's one of the guys that you want to tread lightly when you're racing with him on the track.
Why
You
is
want
that?
to be friends with Mike.
Why? Why is that?
He is that guy that will, he will not only, show you how he feels on the track, but when you get off the track,
Off the track, too.
he'll tell you.
Really?
Yes.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Well, how will he tell you?
Well, I have a prime example.
Yeah, let's get some dirt on McGaskill.
He and my dad had a little scuffle a few
Okay.
weeks back, and
Yeah.
he and the crew were very upset about it. And they made sure to say that on the track and off.
Okay.
And then they took some duct tape, like orange duct tape, and they put a 68 on the side of their trailer with an X through it.
Ouch.
Yeah, and that's one example.
Well, listen, you tell Mike McGaskill, and I'll tell him right now on camera that he better shape up, or old JD's going to come and knock him around in my 2013 Corolla.
But again, racing family. Everyone's happy now.
Yeah.
Everyone's a family again.
So I've known Michael McGaskill since he was, I'm guessing, and he'll be able to tell you more. Tell us here on YouTube, Mike, if you're watching. But I'm
Make sure
guessing.
he watches this.
Yeah, we have to make sure Mike McGaskill's watching. But I'm guessing somewhere around 5 or 6 years old. It was somewhere right around in that ballpark. And he was just this little kid when I was brand new at Froggy. It was the year 2000, so whatever the math is there. But he was just this little boy, and he had a broken arm, fell out of a tree or something, and his mom, Barb, brought him up to the radio station, and he was just this adorable little boy. I'm pretty sure, unless my memory is not correct, that I held him in my arms, which if I did today, I would definitely throw a disc. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. But I haven't seen him in a long time, in a very long time.
I bet you he's pretty unrecognizable now.
I'm sure. I think he had a beard or something. I saw him on Facebook, but yeah, it's really cool to hear you guys say that even though things get hot, we get, pardon the pun, but back on track.
Yeah.
With things. That's pretty cool. And we live in a small town, so you can decide to put all of your energy and all your focus into that one guy on the track that you don't like, and if you do that, you're going to be missing other opportunities to advance and get ahead.
Right.
You have to have a broad perspective of things and not zone in
Yeah.
on one bad guy.
You have to.
Yeah. But you've seen plenty of your fellow drivers be treated maybe without a whole ton of respect at times on the track. There's a little bit of dirty racing out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the officials,
I mean, I feel like we've all done it a little
Right.
bit.
yeah,
Move someone.
There's a
or-
time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
right. But there's also a fine line between racing hard and
Right.
racing dirty.
Right.
And to not cross that line is got to be a little bit. That's a fine line. What have you learned? And I know this might be kind of a tough question, but I think I already know the answer. What have you learned by witnessing any driver in any division, in the way they reacted to an event, either positively or negatively? What have you learned?
It just kind of goes back to the same, race people the way you want to be raced. And if someone, wants to race you without respect, then they should expect you to race the same way. And really that's, the whole, throughout any race, I know that's kind of what I think about. If someone's getting a little rough with me,
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that they know that, I don't appreciate it, and I'll give it back to them if I can. But I try to give just as much as they give to me. So, if someone flat dumps me and puts me in the wall, I might want to put them in the wall. But, if, like you said, there's a difference between racing hard and racing dirty. And 9 times out of 10, you can figure that out for yourself.
Yeah.
What the other person is doing if they're,
I would guess that if you were dumped into the wall and you had an opportunity a week later, a month later, a year later, to return the favor, I would guess that if you chose to not dump them into the wall and the other driver knew that you had the opportunity and that you could have, but you didn't, I would guess that they would very quietly, without even really maybe even saying anything to anybody, I would imagine that they would maybe think of you differently.
right.
Have a greater amount of respect for you.
Right. I can't stress it enough. We're all out there, enjoying the same thing. And, someone might not work as hard. They might work harder than you. But at the end of the day, we all are really passionate about, what we're doing. And I don't think that, anyone really wants to total someone or, really mess their car up, because how would you feel if you were in the same position?
Yeah.
So,
You all know what's invested in it.
right, exactly.
And the amount of time. The time is crazy. I feel like our summers are all racing, basically, because you spend so much time. You spend so much time with these same people every week, week after week. So, yeah, respect is a big thing.
Respect with a capital R, no doubt about it. I know I asked Cooper what job he had to step away from to be here today. What about you?
I have kind of a fun job. I work at Ben & Jerry's, part of hospitality. I'm in the gift shop. Right now we're doing our summer hours, so we have tie-dye open, which is really fun. My hands are usually all kinds of colors.
You're making the tie-dye shirts?
Yeah, we tie them up for you and help
Oh.
you dye them.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's self tie-dye, so we you can dye it yourself. We can dye it for you. We can help you.
Yeah,
It's kind of preference. Yeah, it's
that's really cool.
fun.
So thank you, Ben & Jerry's, for letting Kelsey step away from her job to come here today. Are they a sponsor of yours?
They're not. Well, sort of. We get to take 3 pints home every day.
That doesn't matter. They're not a sponsor. Ben & Jerry's, come on. It's right there, baby. Ben Cohen, are you watching?
Actually, Unilever bought it.
Well,
From
true.
them, so
but
it's
listen,
kind
Ben
of-
and Jerry both have some influence. Come on,
And
now.
they do come in quite often, so
Do they sponsor any other driver at
they
Thunder?
don't.
Okay. Good. We're going to hopefully change that.
Unfortunately.
We're going to try to change that.
Yes.
We need Ben and Jerry's on the hood. Okay?
Oh yeah.
Let's try to
Free
make
ice
this
cream
happen.
for everyone.
So seriously, you're not joking now. 3 pints a day.
3 pints every day.
A day.
Yep.
Not a week.
Every day that you work, 3
How many
pints.
do you take home on average?
Well, lately they've been having low-fat Cherry Garcia in there, and I'm just not a fan.
You're not a fan. So go for the
No.
full fat.
Well, so the pint thing is the factory seconds.
Oh,
so
yes,
you don't
okay.
get to choose.
I understand.
Yeah, so sometimes it's like chocolate chip cookie dough or Cherry Garcia or vanilla or chocolate fudge brownie or the Tonight dough or
Yeah.
pistachio. Chubby Hubby.
Chubby Hubby. Oh my God, I remember that. That's the peanut butter filled.
With
Pretzels.
the pretzels, yeah.
Listen, whoever over there, please tell them to bring the $2.50 seconds back to the store shelves, back to the gas stations. Can you help me with that?
I'll help you. I'll get
Because
you,
you know
get you in.
they used to do that. I mean, it was late '90s, I think.
I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
good to know.
$2.50. Does anybody remember that?
There's
Anyway.
probably none left. We're probably taking them all.
Yeah, it was just so cool. It was so cool. I know you're probably. I can't believe you get that much every day. That's remarkable. Good people over there. Busy time.
Very busy now that summer hours have started. We're open 9 to 9, so.
So you're scooping too?
Nope, just gift shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you see the
But
buses roll in there.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
And it's not a big space,
Yeah.
the inside, so it gets extremely hot.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
You have to be really good with customer service, and
Of course.
people skills is huge.
Huge. And the types of people that you get.
All kinds. Takes all kinds to make the world go round.
I'm hearing the word Massachusetts in my head right now. But you have to be so patient and so kind, and
Yeah.
you probably have to remember that you're representing Vermont, and
Yeah.
they could be. You could be the only Vermonter that they actually speak with when they're coming through the state.
Right.
Oh my God, that's so.
Yeah.
And the damn cowbells ringing all the time.
The
over
customer's always right.
there. Yeah, of course, right. So speaking of Waterbury and Ben and Jerry's, I heard you mention Gup earlier.
Yes, Gup,
So-
I am so thankful for
Give
Gup.
the boys some love.
I am so thankful. That is where my car stays. He hauls it to the track every week. He works on it every week. I can't stress enough how thankful I am for Gup. Eddie is also a very big part of my racing. Without them, I really wouldn't make it to the track every week.
Now, who's Eddie?
Eddie's another crew member. His actual name's Eric. I like to call him Ed. Most of the time I call him Ed. But,
Even though his name is Eric.
yeah.
Already then. There's a story there. So who else is on the crew?
Okay, so I have Gup, Eddie, Tanner, Zach, Sean, Scotty Guyette, Hallie, Pam, everyone in the grandstands, my big cheering section, they're all up on Bud Hill having a good time every
Really?
week. So,
Got the pink flags waving?
oh yeah, you can see pink from the track because they're all wearing the same
That's
shirt.
so cool. It's, I mean, I just have to say, and don't take this the wrong way, but it's like to think of all of these guys
Yeah.
with all that testosterone that are backing you up and supporting you and turning the wrenches and keeping your car together and encouraging an 18-year-old young lady.
I seriously, I would not be there without them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that's so cool.
Yeah,
I just think that's
it's very cool. Yeah,
so that's where you spend a lot of time.
probably most nights of the week. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Now,
Thursday we're at the track. Friday, Saturday, I let them have some time off.
wow. So where are you? And Cooper, get ready because I'm going to ask you this question. Where are you in your life at 18 years old. You just graduated.
Yeah, so I just graduated from Harwood. I spent my senior year at CCV in Montpelier. The whole year, I followed the college schedule. I took a total of 10 courses. So I took essentially I have my freshman year done. I'm going to be going back there this year to finish my gen eds. And then I'm transferring to Worcester State in Worcester, Mass. And I'm going to be studying occupational therapy.
Really?
Yeah.
OT, man, we need so much of that.
Yeah, it's
PT and
very
OT
cool.
here in Vermont.
Yeah.
Are you going to come back to Vermont, do you think? Or
Yeah. I love it here.
Okay.
I won't leave.
you can deal with the winters and
Yeah.
all that?
They get a little long,
Yeah,
but
right.
yeah. I mean, my birthday's in March, the worst month
Yeah.
of the entire year.
Of course. Of course.
But usually I'm coming back from Florida on my birthday.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, yeah. So you've had the taste of Florida, but you're a country girl. You got to be in the hills.
Yeah.
Wow. I love it. I love to hear that.
I mean, Waterbury, we're very small. And
Yeah.
There's not much
Of
there.
course. And I love Waterbury
Yeah.
so much. It's such a cool town.
It is.
Have you been to the new McGillicuddy's?
I have.
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think they have a little bit of, like straightening things out a little bit, but they're new.
Yeah.
Half of Harwood works there, so.
Yeah. I always I'm always going to think of it as Arvod's.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's ingrained in my head. But I think it's remarkable that you're able to handle the schedule of the pressure of the senior year and going to CCV at the same time. You said that was during the summer?
No, during the school year.
During the school year.
Yeah. It was, I actually really enjoyed it. A lot of my friends also did it. Harwood just wasn't my thing, and it was time to get a change, and I really liked it.
That's really impressive.
Yeah. And best part about it, it was free.
Yeah. Because you were, frankly, a good enough student.
Right. You have to apply just like any college.
Right.
You have to get recommendation letters, and you have to write a letter.
Wow.
So it takes a little bit.
So that's the immediate future for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So will you be back on the track next summer?
The tentative plan right now is to be racing a full season next year. The following year, maybe part-time, maybe full-time.
Who knows?
It all, depends on how things go at school.
Yeah. Have you thought to yourself, have you imagined what it would be like to not be racing as you get older, as you approach 20 and early 20s, and does it make you kind of sad?
I kind of know that racing's always going to be a part of me and a part of my life. So I mean, my brother's just turned 15, and he just started racing, so I have that. My dad's supposedly a part-timer, but he's raced the full season, so I'm feeling he's going to keep racing.
How old is Dad?
Dad is 42, I think.
Oh, the old boy's getting up there now. So when he gets into a crash or anything, he's probably limping a little bit the next day.
He amazes me. I don't know what he does.
I hope he's not going to kick my ass now. Or anything.
No, he's going to think this is hilarious. He runs hard.
He's a tough boy.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Every day is an adventure with him, that's for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And Mom, she's right there with you.
Mom's a vet tech. So she she sits in the stands. She likes it up there, and
Is she one of these crazy moms? She like,
I
God, Kelsea!
no, that's my grandmother.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
I would be embarrassed to sit up there, really.
Grandma's up there screaming?
Grandma, the whole family's up there.
Now, does Grandma get a beer in the air?
Grandma doesn't drink, but
Okay.
Grandpa,
Does he get a beer in the air?
oh yeah.
Screaming your name. That's so awesome.
Yeah. The whole family's up there, and aunts, uncles, cousins, both sets of grandparents,
Wow.
friends, extended family.
So they'll be there Thursday, I'm guessing.
They will be.
Do you have
They all have a season's pass, every one of them.
So how much? And I know I need to get back to Cooper, but how much pressure do you put on yourself? You know, just before you're buckled in, you're ready to go, motors running.
You know,
Are you able to?
I feel like there's more pressure when your sponsors are there or someone you like is there watching. Or, you know, like your family's there, your family sees it, they see the good, they see the bad, they see it all, so
they see everything.
kind of,
The proof's in the pudding right there on the track. Do you get super nervous? Are the butterflies going?
Sitting there strapped in is the worst time ever.
Oh no.
I feel like it's not horrible, but just sitting there like you're trying to think about what's going to happen, and it's never right the way you think it's going to pan out. It never happens that way, but once you're on the track and you're moving, you're all focused.
You're in the zen.
You're all in.
You're in the zen.
Yeah.
Cooper Bouchard, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, our other driver that's with us. I'm going to hammer you now. So what's the deal with you for just general life goals? Where are you? Do you want to? Do you have your eye on something that we all should know about in the future? Are you getting married tomorrow?
Oh God, no. I don't know. I kind of take it one step at a time. Right now, I'm happy where I am at work. You know, you get the occasional customer that calls and gives you a hard time, makes you want to quit. But
Eddie.
Eddie.
She's not. He actually, one of our techs went down there working on one of the machines for Town of Waterbury. But yeah.
Eddie, easy now.
No. They said the service manager said you were very pleasant to talk to. So I said, wait till you talk to him at the track.
Yeah,
but
right.
So I don't know. I don't really have anything big planned. I'm really just taking life one day at a time. You know, tomorrow's not guaranteed, so I don't really have any reason to look past what I'm doing right now and what I'm enjoying. I love racing, and I know I've had a kind of rough year so far, and there's been a couple times where I wanted to be done, but I really couldn't live without racing. So I try not to focus on life past racing, and just stay focused on basically waking up, going to work, coming home, and working on the car and repeating a vicious cycle.
Where is home again?
I live in Heinsberg, Vermont.
You're in Heinsberg.
Yep. So it takes me about an hour to get to the track.
Do you live on your own or with
Nope.
your folks?
I live with my parents. So
Obviously you do too.
I
I'm
do too,
guessing. Okay. Yeah.
So my grandfather moved in with my parents and I maybe, 2006 when my grandmother passed away. And he used his retirement money to build an addition on our house and build a 3-bay garage. Wow. So he passed away in 2010, and my dad's old place of business is where we used to work on the race car, where we actually built my first 2 cars. And now the car stays at home, so I get out of work and go home. I actually have to walk through the garage to get into the house, and that's where I live and where I spend 95% of my time.
When you have a car that's sitting in the garage that needs some attention, that you've got to get some work done, do you ever feel like you're just tired? You've had a long day?
Oh, absolutely.
I see you nodding your head.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know we, so the very first race we had this year, I managed a 4th place finish and ended up getting disqualified when the race was done in tech to a unknown chassis infraction. Basically, the guy that built the car moved something he shouldn't have. So right from the get-go, I was like, really, this is how we're going to start our year? I think this is my 4th year racing, and we've never got through the first race of the year clean. We always run into some type of issue. So we actually had to bring the car all the way up to New Hampshire where it was built, got that fixed, came back to next race, blew a tire on the outside lane, put it in the wall, bent the frame. So we had to get that straightened out. And then I think the 3rd race was pretty decent. And then the fourth race,
Can we just talk about the White Mountain, Thunder Road? Then White
Oh,
Mountain?
yeah.
This is a good one.
So, on the 4th of July, we had started 26, 27 cars. By the end of the race, there was 13 of us remaining. I was somewhere in the top 10, I don't know. And there was a caution on the backstretch because a car spun in front of the field. And when that car spun in the field,
No, wasn't me.
nope.
But I was involved.
Yeah, she was. So when that car,
Wasn't me, but I was involved.
when the car spun and everyone kind of checked up and whoever piled into the car in the middle of the track, one of our fellow competitors came out of turn 2 and I guess lost brakes and may or may not have hit her
Launched me, actually.
like Dukes of Hazzard.
over my right front.
God.
I looked in the rearview mirror and I see just the bottom of a blue car and it slam lands in the trunk of my car, pushed the whole body of the car. I could look in my rearview and read my quarter panel sponsor. It was that mangled. So the tires were up. I didn't cut a tire or anything. I, swerved back and forth, made sure everything was fine. And then we had a caution with like 7 to go. And my body, the whole back half of the body, was basically dragging on the ground. I could hear it. So they made me pit. And I was the second to last car to finish the race. And like she was saying, the next day we were supposed to go to White Mountain for a rain makeup race. Being the day after 4th of July, I had to work. My parents didn't. So the plan was to just scrap it and stay home. And I, got up, got to work at 7. We closed early at 1, and I get home, and my race car is ready to go. So my mom, my dad, my uncle, and one of our good friends, Eric Messier, basically slaved all morning and got my car ready to race at White Mountain the following day. And I ended up, I got my first top 5, of the year over there.
That next day.
The next day, very next day, with actually the whole rear clip of the car was bent down 2.5 inches, but it was all behind the rear end, so it was basically just the structure that protected the fuel cell in case anyone decided they want to jump through the trunk of my car again.
Could you feel the difference in the car?
I mean, a little bit. It just moved weight around, so it didn't make it any looser or tighter or anything. It just, it felt a little different, but not enough to make too big of a difference for me.
And who were those people again that put your car back together?
My mom and my dad. I mean, they are. When I want to quit, they're the ones that keep me going. My uncle.
You hear that, Mom and Dad?
My uncle, he lives in Colchester, so it took him, 40 minutes to come to my house, and he, works really, really hard and is a really, really big supporter of me. And he's kind of, believe it or not, the level head out of our whole group, and keeps me sane. And my dad may or may not get a little bit frustrated with the way things are going. And my buddy Eric, who basically almost won me the championship in a Mustang. He knows the ins and outs of race cars, and he's just so damn good. And
You know that 40 years from now, if any one of those people need a favor, you're the go-to.
Right. Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Right.
I mean,
When they're headed to the nursing home, they're coming to live with you.
Right.
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 You
yeah.
might be washing some dirty laundry someday, buddy.
You do what you gotta do.
For these folks, because that's something you'll never forget.
No, absolutely. I really, truly, I was, like you were just saying, you get, tired. You want to quit. And I showed up and my car was done. I was not expecting it. So.
And you got a top 5.
And I got a top 5. So to know that, there's people that care that much about you and care enough to help you continue to do the things that you're passionate for is like, it's incredible.
What's cool is that, when you got that top 5, well, all of those folks won.
Right.
It wasn't just you.
Right.
They all won.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Did you have a cold beer that night?
Did I? No. I had one actually the night I wrecked my car because I really needed one. But no, White Mountain's a 2.5-hour drive for us.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to race the next day, and the forecast looked like rain. So we ended up packing up and going home, and it still looked like it was going to rain when we got up at 6 in the morning. We decided to scrap it, and then they ended up racing anyways because
Yeah,
it didn't
yeah.
rain. So,
Right.
but it was nice to sit home and just do nothing, take a break.
Of course.
It wears on you, and
Do you see yourself as a late model driver?
I'd like to.
I'm not talking about money. I'm not
Right.
talking about money.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to. There's only one. I guess there's really one way to go from where I am, and if I have enough time, and the difference between a Tiger and a late model, way more adjustment, and you're gonna need a lot more people that are there at the track helping you to work on a late model. So, I mean, if it was
time too.
and time. If I had a group of people that were really devoted that could show up, other than 3 people, my parents and my uncle, that could show up the whole season, I'd consider it. But it's hard not to talk about money when it comes to racing,
Well,
and
especially late models. My God.
and you gotta have the funds to. I know I'm not making enough money just from work to support my racing. So,
Of course.
but I know I'd like to drive one someday, definitely.
That's something that crawls around in the back of your head every now and then?
Yeah,
You're thinking about
every
it?
once in a while you see one pop up for sale, and you think about what if, but
Yeah.
it's important to to focus on what you're doing at the time, and not, like I said, kind of just take it a day at a time, not look too far ahead and maybe stress yourself out, or
Yeah.
take your mind off of what you're doing in the moment right now.
Right. How the hell does a guy who's just 3 years older than you, 4 years older than you, 3 years, whatever, Christopher Bell, how does he get to that level?
A little
I
bit
mean,
of
he's
it's
basically the same age as you.
right. We're
I mean, he's NASCAR.
we're in a little rough of a location. There's not much racing around these parts, even in the Northeast. I mean,
So faster to move ahead, get noticed
right.
if you're down south.
Absolutely, 100%. There's a million tracks within miles of each other, and
Sure.
Vermont has 4
Right.
total. So
And now over in New Hampshire, we're not even racing there anymore.
Right.
Or racing once a year, I think.
right, yep, this Sunday actually.
This coming
Yeah.
Sunday, instead of twice a year. Did you have any aspirations to
I mean, I don't.
have you ever thought about moving south?
Absolutely.
up?
I at one point I wanted, I was just thinking I would race for whenever I felt like it, and I would maybe go to a NASCAR technical. I actually went to the All-Star race last year and took a tour, but the thing with that is it's not like traditional college. It's a tech school, so it's not like you have to, the second you graduate, you got to go right into it. I've got time to enjoy what I'm doing now and keep thinking, do I really want to keep doing this? Do I really want to keep doing this? Or do I want to, for lack of better words, grow up?
Sure.
Sure. Try and stop worrying about playing around and really settle in and focus on a career. I mean,
Right.
racing always, I don't think anyone out there really just, I guess they could, but most of the people out there are so competitive that obviously everyone's thinking about, someday being at the top tier. But sometimes you have to come, back to reality and be a little realistic. And
Sure. And life happens. I mean, people get into relationships, they have children, they're buying a house, their finances and responsibilities drastically change.
right.
And that's something to keep in the back of your mind. So, are you going to be fair to yourselves, or are you going to beat yourself up if you decide someday, hey, it's been a great run, I've loved it, I've experienced a part of life that most young ladies my age have never experienced. I'm fortunate, but it's time to change things. Are you going to be fair with yourself?
Yeah, I'm
You're going to give yourself a
definitely
break?
know that. Yeah, life changes. I know that I want a family someday and like a career and a house and a life, and
Yeah.
I don't know that racing's in there. It might be.
Yeah.
You never know.
Who knows?
It's you with life, you never know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know you kind of answered this question, but if you decide to hang up the helmet someday, are you going to beat yourself up over it, or are you going to be honest and fair with yourself? And
I mean, you can, you don't want to, regardless of how much you enjoy it, you don't want to just do it because it's fun. You've got to,
yeah,
you've
amen.
got to, at some point, you have to, figure out, do I really want to keep, I don't want to say wasting my time,
Right.
but
Investing your
there's
time.
there's gonna come a point in life where it's kind of just gonna click, and you're gonna
Sure.
realize that maybe I should step away. It's been a good while I've done it.
Sure.
So
And both of us being so young, a lot of people start a lot later. Like I know
Yeah.
my dad started not long ago, and he had a life and a family and a house and everything set up, and then started racing. But we did it opposite.
Sure.
you can always have like the aspirations to be in the big show someday, but like she's saying, you can settle down, and you can always revisit the racing. And that's kind of why I got into it. I always gave my dad grief because he raced before I was born. And when I was born, it stopped. So I used to watch all the time, and why don't you do this anymore? Why don't you do this anymore? And I mean, I understand it now.
Wow.
Because it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
he decided that it was time to focus on his family and grow up, and now he enjoys. I'm sure he'd love to be out there racing, but
Sure.
he enjoys watching me do it. At least I
course.
think he does.
Are any other drivers, we only have a minute or so left, but any other drivers that you would like to give a shout out to, or just say you've had a great season that you can think of? I know I'm putting you on the spot here. We're only live on YouTube.
Jason Pelkey, they work extremely hard, and I know that they don't have a lot of funds, and
Yeah.
they just work extremely hard, and I think he's done a really great job. Actually, he also got disqualified the first race, and that was first win, maybe?
Mhm.
His first win.
Our second.
Second win, whatever, but a win's a win.
Right.
And it got taken away from him for something that they had no idea about. Their car is so old.
God.
So yeah, I just want to say, good job.
Yeah. Anybody you want to give a shout out?
I know for me, when I started in the street stocks, Tommy Thunder's been around forever.
Oh, yeah.
And some people have a rough time with him, but him and Jamie Davis were really, really helpful and really respectful to me. And I like to watch Jason Corliss because to see what that team can do and how dominant they are.
Yeah.
And he'll talk to you at the track like you're just a regular person. I really look up to him and how he
Milk
races.
Bowl, Community Bank 150, Labor Day Classic, Memorial Day Classic. This guy's got some trophies.
And Nick Sweet is
Amazing.
I mean, he's my all-time favorite.
Yeah. Well, Nick was possibly going to. Was he going to be here today? Nick's going to be coming on soon, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
But he'll be in here, and there might be a visit from the governor. We'll see. I'm working on it. Working on it. But yeah, great guys, and we have to mention more of the Allen Lumber Street Stocks because we haven't talked about them too much. You mentioned Tommy Thunder, who's 35 points behind Jeffrey Martin, who just got his fourth top two finish of the year last Friday, which is pretty cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah, great drivers. Tim Hunt, Tyler Pepin, Casey Collins, all in the top five in standings right now. So
Tim Hunt's an amazing guy.
Yeah,
He is.
it's incredible to see, someone that he just goes to show you when you have a passion for something
yeah,
that you shouldn't let anything stop you for it. And I mean, he's not flopping around out there. He's doing awesome.
Yeah.
that's great.
And it's really cool to see.
Kudos to
it's
you,
good
Tim.
for the sport. Yeah.
And he works hard outside of. He has a camper business. He does occupational therapy actually in the winter at schools. So yeah.
Wow.
He's a busy guy.
Guys, I got to say, it has been such a pleasure for me to have you in here. I've asked you questions that I've always been kind of curious about with stock car drivers, NASCAR drivers, just racing as a passion. And I've really enjoyed listening to your answers. Kudos to your sponsors. Thank you. You know who you are. We've been talking about you. Thank you for supporting these two and keeping their dreams alive. Thanks to my presenting sponsors, Gauthier's Quality Grounds Maintenance in Orange, Jason Gauthier, and of course Fontaine Forestry and Millworks, Mark Fontaine and family, Route 14, just below Bragg Farm. CW Print and Design, Molly and the girls over there, we love them. Peak Entertainment, CW Print Design, I mentioned them, CBDcrave.com. Yeah, Chris and the boys over there, great guys. Donna Sherman, yourvoyageplanner.com from Cruise Planners. She's going to be on with me real soon. And we have some really big news coming out of FGB Theaters, the Capitol Showplace, one of my sponsors, along with the Paramount right here in Barre. We're going to be there again, broadcasting live for the premiere of yet another film. Can't tell you about it right now, but I will very soon. Thanks so much for subscribing, for listening to these two outstanding drivers. This is Cooper Bouchard and Kelsea Woodard, driver of the number 55 and driver of the
Number 7 Chevy Lumina.
Number 7 Chevy Lumina. So there you have it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for subscribing, tuning in. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.